Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. I'm rocking the Dodgers. I'm rocking the Dodgers GLD today. Make sure you guys hit up Shop GLD. Link is down below. Link is in the description. Yo, take them to the yacht. Show them all the products that we got.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, when you're not.
And we're back. All right, we're just going to get right into the intros of the cast and crew because we do have breaking news that I want us to dive right into. We're wasting no fucking time. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What's going on? What it do? Dilly.
Dilly, bro. Dilly.
Let's just talk
And
about
ladies and gentlemen, you love them. You hate them. Takes are good. Takes are bad. Give it up for TDS Taco.
Ooh, I can't wait. Let's just get it going, baby. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you actually did your fucking research prior to coming on camera because what happened in the group chat today, that definitely wasn't a fucking thing.
Yeah, that was definitely not.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the content. We have been dropping content all week, and we are going to be keeping it that way. So make sure you guys stay tuned, turn on those post notifications, share the content. Fellas, yo, you know what we got to do. All right, before we even get into this breaking news, we are starting the show off with breaking news. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly.
Wusses.
I'm going to start this off. No other show is live right now that is breaking what we are breaking for you guys. Albert, what is good? Travis, what is good? Jordan Love news, highest paid NFL QB. Jordan Love getting his bag. Yes, for the down under. Daniel, what is good? What is good? I love that you're here in the chat, Daniel, because this news couldn't have broke any sooner. This news did not make the show sheet, but per the homeboy, Ian Rappaport, he just retweeted me an hour before we got on air. So I feel like we're friends and shit now. QB Jordan Love has agreed to a 4-year extension worth $220 million, which makes him the highest paid QB in NFL history, despite only starting one full season. Of course, David Mulletta on the deal negotiated that. Want to point out that is a base of $55 million per year, give or take, when you divide that 220 over 4. It is also heavily incentive laden or guarantee laden. 75 million signing bonus plus 155 million in new guarantees is kind of how that breaks down. That shapes up and ships out. Brian says happy Friday. Rumboyz, happy Friday, Brian. Jeff, what's going on? Mike, take it away.
All right, so I have him being paid, him only being a year, him starting for 1 year doesn't mean anything in today's age, because it's all about, get your bag. When you're up for the contract, it's time for you to get your money, depending on what the money's going to be. Green Bay is known for this. You have Favre, you have Rodgers, and I mean known by this in the sense of drafting good, getting the guy come up, get paid. They are like quarterbacks like the frickin' Pittsburgh Steelers are for coaches. They don't have many. They succeed. This is not surprising to me at all. They have the weapons. They're able to do it. They let Aaron Jones go. If they kept Aaron Jones, I don't know if this would have worked, but I don't think that freaking Jacobs was the right. That's a whole nother story. Getting him locked up, having the multiple wideouts, and not having a single one of your top wideouts on a post-rookie deal. Watson's on a rookie deal. Reed's on a rookie deal. Wicks is on a rookie deal. Dubs is on a rookie deal. Kraft and Musgrave are on rookie deals. I think that's why they can get away with it now. It's a good deal. And other than that, not much to say besides I knew that was going to happen.
Well, it's unique when we talk about it's unique in the aspect to when you talk about that they can actually afford it, about how many players are on, rookie deals, things that they have flexibility.
They have
that
when
we get into the next. Yeah, exactly. There's enough fluidity. And also, like you said, I mean, this is what they do. Over the last 20 years, no team, okay, and I point this out every time that we have to talk about the Green Bay Packers because it's such a very unique stat. It's something that they truly, truly specialize in and really has to be paid respect to. They have the least turnover at the quarterback position, period. Mike just named the 3 freaking quarterbacks they've had for the last fucking 20 years.
1992 was when Favre was drafted.
Atlanta. And then became a Packer. And then became a fucking Packer.
Yeah.
And it was a Packer forever. And then from there, Aaron Rodgers. And then from there, Jordan Love. This is what Green Bay does.
And they sit him for 2 or 3 years, which is why Love has only started for 1 year. Rodgers had the same thing. It's a process, and if the process works, we'll get into something a little bit later about process, but if the process works, the process freaking works.
Hey, Philadelphia 76ers, I know that this is the NFL, but maybe you could take a page out of the Packers book about processes working. Taco, take it away.
I mean, it's crazy the numbers that we're talking about quarterbacks. This is like NBA money. Like these guys are making like NBA money. And I think that's what's a little scary to me is because in the league, they had that issue before they created that system where, hey, you qualify for this maximum, which is this percentage of the salary cap. That it was the Wild West and everybody was throwing money out there. And that kind of feels like what's happening with the quarterback position. It's elevating so much higher above every other position that you're going to soon have quarterbacks that are making $60, $70 million. And if the cap is, let's just say $200 million, you're approaching to the point where you're going to have a quarterback that's making like 40% of your cap? Like, how does that work? So, I mean, I think as we trend forward, the question is going to be, does everyone continue to push this level up, or does it kind of like start to top off and say, okay, this 55 for Joe Burrow is kind of like the highest it goes. Everyone's going to settle in a little bit underneath there until,
So I'm going to answer your question real easy. I'm going to answer because you bring this up every time. By the way,
I wanted to wait for the next one to bring it up, but
yeah. Before I continue, hell no, hell yeah, up in the chat. What is good? Hell no, hell yeah. And Daniel brings up a very good point. Led the league's youngest offense to a playoff win in his first season as a starter and was in position to beat the 49ers to go to the NFC Championship game. Just getting started. Absolutely, which is why you have to lock this in right now. Taco, to your point, okay? One thing about the NFL as of old and as of today are two totally different things. The NFL today is a lot more progressive, believe it or not, than the NFL of, maybe even just a few years ago where you had owners making statements like you can't have the players running the prison or shit like that, or the inmates running the prison. Texans, that one's on you. That's a black eye on you. You know, you're getting to a point now to where with things of social media and just general media, hell, look at how much access we're getting to your own team through Hard Knocks and how that's shaping out and what the narrative is becoming around that. Because of these things, it has forced the league to become more progressive. When the league goes to this 18-game schedule and Super Bowl, the Sunday before President's Day, Monday, what do you think they're going to do with that extra money? What do you think the players are? What's the only holdup with that argument? How are you going to pay us and how are you going to give us more money? What happens here? They are going to move the needle on the salary cap, or either they are going to then give them more money through either endorsements or TV deals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. There's a new TV deal. There's a new TV deal in 2 years coming up. I mean,
but then the question is, does the quarterback still continue to get this astronomical percentage where you?
Yes.
Hardest position in positional sports.
Okay,
yes.
I was gonna bring this up later with the other topic, but since we're on the topic of big picture, I'll bring it up. What would happen, Taco, if they've already changed the landscape once? Remember with the rookie salary cap stuff? Remember the days when you had Bradford and Stafford making all that guaranteed? They were the last two big quarterbacks to get all that guaranteed being the QB1 or being the top pick of the draft, no matter what position, but being the QB. If that was still in play, and when Cam came in is right when they started doing the, here's the cap for rookies, 4-year deal, 5-year deal, whatever.
That's like basketball. Yes.
But imagine if they didn't do that, their second contracts would even be higher because their first contracts were even were like the same amount of guarantee they're getting now.
Percentage-wise. It always goes up. You don't think that what you've brought up got brought up in the Aikman era?
You're right, but it's going to change the way you build teams, because now it's overwhelmingly going so much to the quarterback, where Mahomes and Kirk Cousins, they're making like $45 million. It's like $10 million less than what you're making for Burrow. And as these contracts keep scaling up, and you're looking at now, you have better quarterbacks that are taking like $10 million less than the guys that are going to get their money and using that to get an extra weapon. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a talent disparity, because a lot of guys are going to be like, I just want my money. Other guys are going to be like, I want to win. And now we're just going to see a bunch of teams like the Jaguars that they're nice in the stadium. You pay Trevor Lawrence. You don't win a single playoff game. You don't do anything that's really substantial for your franchise, and you're going to get paid. And they're going to look at you just the way they look at Tua, just the way they look at all these other guys, and say, well, hopefully in the next 4 years, you're going to take us there. Even though we know that we have other teams like
again, teams have to adapt and overcome. Yep. The quarterback market is only going to keep increasing. Hold on. Stop. Because you just made your own point. Oh, well, it's going to change the way that you have to build a team, so on and so forth. Yes, it is. It is. Adapt and fucking overcome. Adapt and overcome.
And you know what? The more you think about it, the more you look at what the GM in Atlanta did, and you might actually say, damn, he might be smart here. $45 million for Kirk Cousins, give him 2 years, let him toodle Penix Jr., and if Penix Jr. hit,
that is what is going to start happening. It is going to start being, okay, try and hurry up and win on your rookie deal, and then if not, it becomes. And I love the way that I want to say it was Dominic Foxworthy had pointed out on his podcast, where no matter what, this has always been a process. There's no way to cure this. NFL commissioners and GMs and front offices have tried for years to try and correct it. It's not going to be a thing. Okay. This is the nature of the fucking beast.
I know. I think the
NBA have to find new ways to win. You have to find new personnel to win with.
You're right.
There are too many moving pieces in order for there to be this perfect situation of a quarterback market to where it's either win on your rookie deal or, okay, if you don't win on your rookie deal, now when we come to contract talks, are you better than the next 2, 3, 4 years of prospects? And if you're not, or if you are better than what the next couple of projected prospects are going to be, I need to fucking pay you. Because there's no point in cutting you loose and letting you go to some other team that is going to pay you, and then you winning there.
Yeah, and that's the Giants did with Daniel Jones. And look at how that's working. They paid him because he was the next man up, But I'm just saying, in general, if you keep using that mentality, you're going to start paying guys that don't deserve it.
You guys could have gotten out of that, and
I agree.
Could have went and drafted Bo Nix. You guys could have went and drafted a
at 6.
You guys could have. You made the decisions that you made. That is also why you're getting dragged the way that you are in front of national freaking media on Hard Knocks.
Well, let's put it like this. I don't disagree with going out and getting a weapon when you don't have many weapons. You had no separation last year with your wide receivers.
You're already going to be stuck rebuilding.
Yeah, but at least, how about this? How about this, Robbie? If we suck this year, we get a quarterback next year, and at least they have a weapon. If we suck this year and get a quarterback that has a weapon, we keep going down the same cycle of no weapons and a quarterback, no weapons and a quarterback. So at least we got a potential neighbor.
Do you really believe that there's a quarterback in this class that is better than either the free agents that are going to be available next season?
But there'll be options. What I'm saying is Daniel Jones is going to be cut if he doesn't deliver. You're going to pick something else. You're going to have options. You're going to take something. But at least you have neighbors there. If you don't have neighbors there and you have, let's just say, Bo Nix versus Daniel Jones, you're kind of like in a shit salad. You still got no weapons and you're figuring out which one is it. We need a definitive answer. It's either Daniel or not. He's either cut or he's battling. He's no in between.
Okay. I think this also does one more thing that no one thinks about. This massively extends the life of a QB on a team. No one is trading for these contracts. No, I think that you're going to see teams eventually. What will happen is it'll create teams will get comfortable with the new landscape. Look, I hate to fucking do it. All right, but inflation is everywhere. Damn it. All right, the price of everything is going up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. All right. Teams are still going to have trades. You're still going to see teams be willing to swap money, swap contracts, swap players, swap picks. That's not going to change. But I do think that it does force teams to actually maybe live out the life of some of those contracts before cutting them short, which does make for even better football because we do have such good, talented QBs right now to where we are going to get some damn good football. There's enough parity in the league to where I don't think that we're going to keep getting repetitive Super Bowls. Cowboys don't want to rebuild, Robbie. I'm tired of blowing it in the playoffs every year. Don't worry, we're going to talk about your Dallas Cowboys. From one quarterback that got paid to another, Tua got paid today, having agreed to a 4-year, $212.4 million extension, $53.1 million per year with the Miami Dolphins. Was this a worth it extension, or should the Dolphins have began working towards the future at QB? Just want to lay out the landscape here. Obviously, Jordan Love now, the highest paid. But then there is Burrow, Lawrence, Tua, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Taco, go ahead.
If you ask me personally, I would have let him play out his contract and then use the franchise tag, much like how they did with Dak Prescott. I do not believe in Tua. When you look at everything about his profile, it just screams one injury away from not playing anymore. He's already undersized. He isn't the guy.
Who is that? And whose fault is that?
God. He's undersized. I mean,
okay. Outside of obviously the man above, who ran him into the dirt?
I mean, you would say the Dolphins and Alabama, from his time.
It was Saban. Saban literally, 4 weeks removed from a freaking hip surgery, threw him back out there. Literally pulled a Shanahan with the RG3. He was like, "Oh, look, keep going, oh." And still went 5th overall.
I'm not saying he's like not talented. I'm just saying he's not worth that contract. I wouldn't do it. I would use the tag.
What's your take on Tua's time with Brian Flores?
With Brian Flores, didn't they miss the playoffs? And Brian Flores had a big falling out with the coach, with the players, and that was also during the time with Ross that there was tampering charges, and they were trying to bring in Brady, and there was a lot going on during that time period. And then they were trying to tank in order to get in, and he wanted to win. So there was a lot going on in that organization to make it messy for a quarterback. I'm saying,
you had the tampering issue, okay, which made things even worse. So much like I make the argument about the Urban Meyer years with Lawrence, you kind of gotta wash that away when you have a coach that's being a piece of shit and isn't really playing the game with integrity. So, all right, let's wash that out. Okay, now he's been underneath McDaniels.
He's been solid, but not $53 million a year solid. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in him to give him a 4-year contract, guarantee him, lock him in there.
Do you think Carson Beck could come into the Miami Dolphins offense and do better than Tua?
I'm not saying that, but I am saying
that Carson
Beck doesn't even know who Carson Beck is.
Business, Taco.
It doesn't matter if Carson Beck. There will be other options on the market next year. You will still have Tua under contract this year, and you will still have the ability to tag him.
Came into that situation and won it for them.
Do I have to give Tua a contract right now? Can he not play out his contract?
You have to give Tua a contract.
Why? He can play out his contract much like Dak did before.
Because here's the thing. Here's what you don't want. And here's the part that you're missing when it comes to quarterback.
You don't have to. You don't have to pay
balls out. If he goes out there and then he balls out, now the price has just gone the fuck up.
How much more can it go up? It's already 53.
And now you pigeonhole yourself.
Where's it going? 60?
That you need to sign.
Okay, then win me the Super Bowl and I'll give you 60. Go ahead. Do it. Show it to me. Show it to me.
Unload Christian Wilkins. You cannot. You don't.
I would rather give him $6 million after he proves it.
Robbie, let me ask you a question, Robbie. Who was the last major quarterback that a team let play out a contract and then got screwed over after that? The Daniel Jones situation. Do you really want to be in that situation?
Oh my God! Let's be honest. They could have tagged Daniel Jones and not given him that contract.
No,
but I'm saying you put yourself in that predicament because you didn't up him the year before. Like they just
we didn't pick up his 50. We didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones. That was the problem.
But what I'm saying is,
by you answering my question, you buried your own self in this debate, bro.
How? He still has a year left in his contract. He has to play.
You sat here and said that you would not start Carson Beck over Tua.
But that's not the question, or that's not the point, because I don't have to do that. Tua's under contract, so Tua's not going to get paid. This is why they have a CBA.
Let's now use your scenario. Okay, you let Tua play out his contract in Miami. Yep. You let Dak play out his contract in Dallas.
Yep.
Both fucking ball out. Now you're in either more of a situation of
what's ball out? Where do I end up? Am I in the AFC championship game? Or am I a wild card team that loses in the first round?
AFC championship game. I'll give you.
And he's getting paid. Go get me to the AFC championship game. You get paid. Right, you take me to a first round.
Fucking bugging.
It's okay for love. So let me ask you this, Taco, because I was going to ask before you even brought that up. Before you just brought up this last point. So you agree with Love getting the dough, but not Tua?
Yes.
Even though Love's only done it for 1 year.
Love has been in that system just as long as Tua, and the reason why he didn't play is
not how Taylor Hackett's system before Rodgers departed.
It's
team different.
Team. He's with the team. He was with the team longer.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
You're right. System not the same, but team is. He's with that team first.
I agree with him.
Get your fucking mind right, bro.
No, I agree with Taco on the team part because, like, I brought up the fact it's the Packers. I disagree with him saying that one deserves it and the other doesn't, purely on the fact that the one is Tua and, Love, like, if you're gonna use the 1 year thing, you have to put that in.
But LaFleur, it literally went, and then
Love's peak was higher than Tua's peak.
And left Denver, went to the Jets.
How much was that team and not QB?
Who does he have on that wide receiver staff that's like Tyreek Hill? He is Tyreek Hill and Waddle.
I'm saying team in general, because guess what? Yeah. Half the reason that they were there in the NFC Championship game was because what they did to Dallas Cowboys, and that was their fucking defense.
You're right, but all season Jordan Love was delivering. And
did I ever say he wasn't? No. I'm saying about the championship game is they blew him out.
What I'm saying is, truthfully, it's kind of hard to see guys that only get one year of really good forcing these GMs into situations of having to give them to long guaranteed money. Because what if he turns out to be a flub? Now you have guaranteed money, and it's hard. I get it. It's the way you have to move in the new world.
I'm not saying Love or Tua deserve it. What I'm saying is, if you say Love deserves it, then you can't discredit Tua not getting the money. That's why I'm saying you're wrong.
My problem with Tua is that he's one injury, one concussion from a ton.
I want to see Taco's road to glory in NCAA 25.
Let me ask you this, Robbie.
Plus, he hasn't delivered an AFC championship or gotten to the game.
Robbie, you've played football before. Yes. Tell me what player in the NFL, in all reality, is not one play away from ruining his career. Every fucking player. Lamar Hamlin.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. But this is a guy with a history of concussions in a way that we haven't seen. And we've looked at it many times. And it's like, oh my God. And he's smaller than the average quarterback. So it's not the same kind of situation.
You're acting like concussion research is like ancient, bro. That's fairly.
Bro, how many more concussions do you think Tua can take?
I mean, like, we also don't know how many that he's probably taken and has reported. We don't know how many.
That's what I'm saying.
Players have taken and don't report them.
I have been
concussed. I have been concussed.
He has more miles.
I'm not saying anything.
He's like the Toyota Camry with 100,000 miles,
bro. This is a risky sport.
They're never going to beat the Jets, and they're never going to beat the Bills.
On a pair of cleats understands this.
Agreed.
This is the nature of the beast.
But there's also inherent accelerated risk associated to Tua based on his profile that you can't deny.
And you know what? I'm still going to be, you know what? He's the next man up. I'm going to take
it. Next man,
but I'm not willing to deal with the next couple of fucking options for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Because, like you said, they'll be free agents. And what about the guys that didn't deliver in the beginning as a rookie?
Yes, we have Wes Welker. Look at how AB is. CTSPN's a thing, Taco.
Oh God, let's not go about CTSPN.
Look, what I'll say,
some crazy stuff over there.
Crash out Kings, baby. What I'll say is this, okay? And maybe in part to me saying this is because I have played, and I also have, done a couple projects in partnership with the NFLPA. And like when I look at some of those veterans and I see, and then you look at like the insurance that happens after the game. Fuck that. When anytime on this podcast that money comes up, I'm always going to be the player first. Jordan Love get paid, Tua get paid. But with that said, in the words of Marshawn Lynch, protect your mentals, protect your chicken. All right? Y'all got your money. Invest that shit right. Don't do no tiny BS. Granted, y'all don't have interpreters. Don't be DeJounte Murray. All right? Protect the money. Go get your family houses and shit. Don't hook up the whole family. All right? Your cousin twice removed does not need a brand new fucking Benz, bro. All right, I'm just putting it out there. Be smart with it, fellas, and enjoy it. Paydays like this at a sport as violent as football do not come around every damn day. Dak is laughing his ass off today looking at this Tua contract. Break out the red pennies, baby. We made it. You know what? I'll move the show sheet around. I'll move the show sheet around.
Red punty night.
And we'll keep it on contract talk. I did not want to rag on them this early. I wanted to maybe get a full beer in, but
we're talking Cowboys.
Fuck it. It's always a good time.
It looks like you're wearing the logo on your shirt.
It does.
It looks
that's
like
a California state flag.
No, but when you have the shirt down and you just
all
you see is a star.
Mike.
I agree with you, Mike.
Anyways,
Michael Irvin.
Okay, Mike.
Hey, if I had his money and probably his chicks from the past, I'll take it.
You cannot bring up Mike Irvin and not expect me to not yell "Cocaine Mike." QB Dak Prescott spoke recently on the possibility of him leaving the Cowboys in the future, stating, and I quote, "I want to be here, but when I look up, all the great quarterbacks I watch played for other teams. That's not something to fear. It may be a reality for me one day, and it may not be my decision. Are we at the end of the line of the Dak era? And it also, what are you guys making of Jerry Jones? He's been saying some really alarming shit lately in the media. Alarming to the point. You remember, y'all remember, I hate to bring this up, but y'all remember the presidential debate?
Oh, God. Are you
and that motherfucker could have formed a sentence and you didn't really know where he was? That's Jerry Jones is getting to that for me of NFL owners with the stuff that he says and even his hand gestures and stuff. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before.
Robbie, you know where he's actually before I actually give my take. You know where I think he's starting to be at when it comes to ownership in sports.
The point that where money can't even fucking keep you alive,
And I don't mean in the racist marks or anything like that, but just being just straight crazy. He's straight up Donald Sterling almost. On the craziness.
I mean, there's that too, but nah, he gives me Sleepy Joe vibes, bro. Mike, give me your take on Dak, the end of what could be the end of the Dak era. And then
I do think it's the end of the Dak era, and I don't blame it on Dak. I blame it on the team because freaking Jerry Jones sucked freaking Dak Prescott's toes for way too long.
He's better than Tua.
What? You let me talk, and then you'll understand. I'm saying it's not Dak's fault. The reason it's Jerry's fault, and the main problem is Jerry's not gonna let either Micah Parsons and CD Lamb walk. It's not gonna freaking happen. And like you said, if it's close to 60 mil, who's the odd man out? In this case, I think it's gonna be Dak.
Bro, hey, I'm gonna be real. 60 mil for Dak
on his third contract. That's the
on
issue.
His third fucking contract. Hey, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening with Mike's computer, but yeah, how much more? If you're Dallas, how much more could you take? So this is where I do take Taco's viewpoint because third contract. And you're a fucking 4th round pick out of Mississippi goddamn state. And here's the thing about Dallas is they did this with Romo. It was kind of almost the same thing. And it was hey, that wasn't getting you anywhere. You kept running into although we've come to the end of the road. That's what you kept repeating with Romo. And then you did it. You're doing it again with Dak. And except now your owner is 10 times more senile than what he was then. Dog. FanDuel is out here proposing fucking trades with the Steelers between CeeDee Lamb. Micah Parsons still needs a fucking deal. Your key you have to sign your key defensive piece. You have to sign star wide receiver who honestly could probably even who should get Justin Jefferson type of money.
He's going to.
He needs to. Like, yo. Like when it really fucking hit me, Mike, when you said third.
And that's why I want to. That's why the only thing I will say, I know I'm done. The only thing I want to bring up is that's the difference between Love, Tua, and Dak is the fact that it's his third contract up at the $60 million range. It's not going to fly, especially they should have already signed CeeDee Lamb and they fucked that one over.
It's not even my team about to fucking crash out.
They could have already had him, but now they're going to have to pay him Justin Jefferson money because they didn't pay him. They could have paid him before Justin Jefferson and made the Vikings pay Justin Jefferson CeeDee Lamb money. They screwed the pooch on that one.
And then he's like, and then Jerry goes, contracts like these take time. Motherfucker, you had the whole offseason.
You've had 2 off seasons. For CD.
Your owner Sleepy Joe Dallas.
And you got Mike, and you got Mike, and your Micah getting pissed off. Micah's like actually getting pissed off.
Yes, Micah's like Micah's legit. I never thought that I'd see the day. Like Micah Parsons was fully bought into Dallas to a point where he was acting like the fans being delusional. He's not doing that now. You can't lose that guy. If I'm all 3 of them, I'm making a pact. I'm like, all 3 of us walk out this bitch. Taco's take actually works for once. Taco's take about quarterbacks, when you talk about on the third contract paying fuck $60 million.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it depends.
I agree.
For a guy like, let's just say Dak, if he hits the free agent market, it's a lot like Cousins. You go into a team that's like probably sucks for a while, but has, a couple of good players on rookie deals where you can then take over. I'm really not even like, I'm trying to think of it. I don't know the situation. I mean, maybe the Raiders.
That's where I think. That's what I think.
Like, that's like, because like, who else would pay for Dak? Like, because that's the other thing in a negotiation. Who am I negotiating against? Who else is going to be able to pay you this money, Dak Prescott? Because I'm only going to pay you so much. And like,
you could have Seattle.
I mean,
where Dak is.
If you're paying 53 for Tua, I'd pay 55
look
for
what
Dak.
Seattle did and how they got out of Russell Wilson and everything. I mean, like Dallas should have been pulled that fucking similar move. Shit should have been happening.
I mean, this guy's playing much better than Tua.
Like, hell,
he's been better than Tua every single year.
I hate to give the Chargers props right now.
Stop.
I hate to give the Chargers props right now.
The last couple years.
But the Chargers with Drew Brees, how they did that.
Robbie, I have to say something because he just remember what I texted you? I texted you saying he's going to piss me off. He just pissed me off. Here's the reason.
What did he say?
You just said 20 minutes ago that the reason you're going to give Tua money over Love is because Love got him somewhere and Tua hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Neither has fucking Dak.
I would have given Love the money.
Dak hasn't done shit.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying, but one of the reasons you said that was because Tua hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Neither has Dak. I don't care. At this point of his career, it does not matter what Dak's done in the regular season. It matters what he does in the postseason, and he hasn't done shit.
Tua hasn't had one season where he threw over 29 touchdowns. Dak's throwing 37, 36 touchdowns, running and maintaining this offense. That whole offense is run by McDaniels and by all the running and Tyreek Hill. This is more Dak running the show.
Getting them over the threshold.
Is he getting them over the hump?
It's not. It's not. Also, I think that Dak is also.
So then what's Tua doing?
Hold on. I feel like that Dak is doing a lot of that and has done a lot of that because it's like, fuck, we're not going to win this game unless I fucking do something. But it's because of the way that Jerry has managed the fucking team, the way that Jerry has managed it's two totally different situations in terms of how organizations are managed. Jerry has ran this shit into the fucking dirt. Tua getting his bag is not Tua's fault. This team is doing the things to put things around him. Tua's stat line, not Tua's fault. They're putting things around him to where he doesn't always have to do. Fucking Dak for a lot of the better half. It's been pretty much almost a one-man army.
That's why I would pay him.
They'll have all the offensive pieces, then they have no fucking defense. They'll have a fucking defense, and then the offense can't get clicking.
Well, I'll be honest. This is where you have to make your decisions. And like you said, it's a new way to build. Trade Dak to fucking the Raiders, get a couple picks back, and then build it back up with your Trey Lance or whoever else you got. You got to make decisions.
It also comes down to team philosophies too. Okay. Look at Dallas's offensive line. Dallas has virtually always had this. They keep those guys forever until finally you can't do that. They keep these players forever because they think that it's the 90s and they can still live in the glory road, which I want to get to this comment here on the screen. Gotta wonder, is there a slight hesitation because Jerry Jones does not want to drop the bag till they get a new head coach? I don't think it has anything to do with that.
They can't keep wasting years.
Jerry is stuck in his ways. There are some bosses. Pat McAfee says this on his show all the time, where when he's asked about, when he's asked about like what they do with their show and how they build it, and he says it all the time. He's like, I fucking hate hiring. I don't like hiring. He's like, we don't hire people. He's like, I mean, we may like touch like here and there, touch and go. He's like, but like, fuck, suck at it. He's like, that's not his strong suit. I think that, and that's a great leadership quality, by the way, is knowing what you are good at, what you aren't good at. I think that Jerry Jones' strong suit is not firing. Jerry Jones cannot get rid of someone in enough time, and he gives them chance, because that's the way he built those 90s teams. And he can't accept that you can't do that anymore. It's a completely different era.
Or he just doesn't have the eye anymore.
He never did.
Robbie, is he turning in?
That was all Jimmy Johnson. I'm going to be honest. I hate to defend Dallas, but that was all Jimmy.
Is he turning into Al Davis?
Yes.
In the sense of, we said the Raiders won't win. They're both family ran. We said the Raiders won't win until Al Davis is out. And yes, Mark Davis is a goofball, but we said until Al Davis, and we knew that. I even said it. I said it not because being a Chiefs fan, but just being a football fan.
Yeah.
I said it was morbid, but I said because we knew Al would not relinquish until he was gone, that the Raiders would not succeed until Al Davis was passed away. Are we getting to that point? Because we know Jerry's not going to relinquish even to Steven until he's out the building.
Dark take. It is a dark take, but sometimes welcome to my dark twisted fantasy. Welcome. Sometimes there are great album for me to reference, right?
Absolutely.
So, thank you, sir. I'm glad you caught on to that. Sometimes you have to accept the dark reality. So yes, Mike, you're correct. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're fucking wrong, bro.
It's sad, but it's right.
It's sad, but it's true. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And that goes back to Karam is a Dallas fan. but he said it very, very eloquently in the very beginning. I'm trying to go back up here in the chat where he tells Jerry, just sell the team. And we are at that point. Drop out the race, bro. You know that that's funny. Know that that's funny.
I don't know, man. It's
We're not going to go any further than me leaving it at that. Because we're not going to cross any line or like you know that was good. Okay, let me see something here.
Just make something up before.
Yeah, I am gonna make something up because I like the topics that we have on the second half.
I need to be first for the one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing this. We're gonna start off with Taco here on this one because I'm just making this up. We have never received access behind the scenes to a NFL team the way that we have with HBO Max's Hard Knocks. Honestly, I have became more of a fan of the work that Omaha Productions has been doing.
Is that who's doing it?
No. That's why I'm prefacing because Omaha Productions has done quarterback. They've done receiver.
I forgot they did. I forgot they did.
Et cetera. I've been enjoying those type of access shows to where Hard Knocks has kind of fallen off for me. Obviously, Hard Knocks being done by NFL Films. Let's give a round of applause to fucking NFL Films for once, guys. NFL Films, you don't let us fucking use any plays or anything here on the show. You won't let us use any footage or anything because of licensing. But damn it, can you put together a good Hard Knocks when we're covering the Giants?
I think it's the kind of yeah. I'll leave it.
If Taco, you are a Giants fan, so I want to know how you have felt about just as a fan seeing Hard Knocks, and then what has it been like seeing what has happened in the echoes? Now I know that you do tune in faithfully to Giants pages and shit, so you may be getting one side of things, whereas those of us that are on the outside looking in, we're like, what are your thoughts? And then Mike, I want to know how you would feel if your Chiefs were in their position, not in the position that you guys are in where everything's hunky fucking dory. Like if you were in their position.
Oh yeah. I already know. Yeah.
Taco.
I mean, I think it's absolutely crazy to get this kind of access, especially in a year where you have that Saquon Barkley negotiation, which, I mean, let's be clear. I am a Saquon Barkley stan. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm sitting there gobbling this shit. I'm like, but I completely understand what was going on, or I'm hypothesizing what's going on here. And it looks like, in my opinion, last season, Mara was putting on the presses to Joe. And I think that caused, as you saw from Joe saying, since last year, this was causing me stress, this and that. It really caused him to sour in his feelings. Yeah, I mean, but I don't agree with him not paying the running back when this team is not like, we're not a running back away from anything. And to keeping the running back is kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the wound. Like, either we're gonna suck all the way.
It's the running back thing. It's still like, all right, like it's not just that, Taco. Week after week, dog. The receiver interview. The fucking receiver.
The receiver interview wasn't that bad. It was funny.
That shit was fucking hilarious, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of annoyed when Dabo was throwing his feet up on the table when they were having the interviews with the guys. I was like,
with Jaden Daniel, when he's standing there
with everybody,
his feet were up, and before Daniel was even able to put his backpack down, Dabo looks at him and goes, "So let's get real. Do you want to be here?"
Yeah,
no,
bro. I like Dable, but man, is he laid back? Because that is like I thought you had like stood up a little bit. Like, no.
I had a coach. That's not a laid back thing. That's a passive asshole type of thing. I had a coach like Dable. Temperamental type of personality type to deal with. They're low-key secret fucking nutcases.
But I mean, I think overall it kind of shows that Mara is he was invested in Barkley. He wanted Barkley. And the fact that we didn't get him and that he went to Philadelphia, I think it makes it a very interesting season for Joe. All things considered, because I do think that Barkley's going to have a fantastic, especially because Barkley didn't know he was getting recorded, and now he's seeing all the stuff after. I just like more and more. I'm doubling and tripling down on it. I do think that he's going to have a big year, and I think that's going to when optically Mara sees that. Yeah,
but like, when you're just fucking when you're walking out from the fucking locker room, like, yeah, man, today's gonna be a good.
But yo, didn't him and the defensive coordinator last year get into it?
Yeah, bro,
Martindale,
bro. When you're just walking out the locker room holding your helmet, like, oh yeah, today's gonna be a good day, and you hear no fucking music, and you see that coach is down on that motherfucker. No other assistant coaches are around him, no coordinators. No trainers. You don't see the water stand out there yet. You just see. You hear that whistle? Bear crawl, my flagpole. You're like, oh, fuck. Yo, didn't we just win the night before? Oh, shit. Oh no. J Love's comment just gave me PTSD. Oh, fuck, coaches all won a game. You're out there sweating and shit. Like, fuck, we just won last night. Why is he mad?
So did you guys watch Last Chance of You?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Did you watch them all?
No.
Did you watch the one from the junior college in Kansas?
No.
With Jason Brown, the white gangster head coach?
No, I did not.
You were describing him. Dable is a less white, like the guy's like a white guy trying to be gangster.
Yeah.
Hard. Dable is a more successful, but like not laid back as in like laid back coach.
The personality type. The personality type.
Yes. He is a laid back, more successful Jason Brown.
Dude, fucking yeah. Look, really quick, just getting back on topic though. No, Taco for your organization right now, like it's bad.
I mean, I think the moves wise, you kind of
had back-to-back. It's had back-to-back majorly bad incompletions in training camp the last 2 weeks. That shit's been awful. Oh, really quick, there is one clip that I wanted to bring up. There is one thing I wanted to bring up. What was it? I think it was it Showing? Yeah. He asked his family. No, it was Brady. Yeah. He was like, or was it Showing? No. I think it was Showing. And he was like, who? He asked his family. He was like,
he's talking to his kids. He's talking
to his kids. And
he's
like,
one shot to be good.
Yeah. He was like, who do you want us to draft? Like, we're trying to win right now. Jaden Daniels. And his kid is sitting there, and this kid very assholishly is like, you only get this job once in a lifetime.
But it's true. And like he's gonna be put because the coach likes Barkley so much, it's either 1 or 2 more seasons that this guy has. Either this season and it's done, or this season and next season and it's done. And the hope is that Daniel Jones turns into something, but maybe they're gonna have Drew Lock, hopefully. But if that doesn't happen and they get thrown for another first pick, I think that maybe they get 1 more draft and that's it, because it's looking dicey there.
Jeff, yes, but we've seen them cover good teams as well. My issue with Hard Knocks is my issue now moving forward after this season. This is just me looking at it from the entertainment aspect, let's say that I'm just a casual, I'm not like as heavy into football as like all of us are. My worry with Hard Knocks is not being able to, you can't replicate the type of drama that we're getting on camera. Mm-hmm. So I worry that future views for future teams could potentially not be as great. Like, I don't think that we're going to get as much entertainment out of the in-season Hard Knocks with the Bears as we're getting with the Giants.
Well, like, that's where I want to go with it. So yeah.
Yep, Mike, it's your take, anyways.
All right, so I'll let you re-ask me the question because I don't remember what it is, but you can re-ask me in a second.
How would you feel if it was the Kansas City Chiefs, like in the Giants?
Ask me in a second. I want to say one thing about why I think it's so popular and why we're so pumped about it. We've had regular Hard Knocks training camp, which is what the Bears are going to be on. It's training camp, but training camp, I hate to say it, and both of us know this. All of us hardcore people know this. Training camp isn't what it fucking used to be. You're not seeing two-a-days. You're not seeing the hard stuff. It's more lenient. I'm just saying for the players, it's more lenient, which on some of the stuff.
Unless you're the Houston Texans.
Yeah, but we don't see some of the stuff that, you get fights. Watch out, Stingley. You're gonna get wrecked. So you don't have some of that hardcore stuff. The problem is, what is the problem that I've said this before, just about the new generation in general, is get bored pretty quick. And the problem with Hard Knocks is it's the same thing, even though it's different teams, it's the same thing every year, and it's been gone on for like 10 or so years now. So what did they do a few years ago? They're like, we need to change it up. They added the in-season one. You had the Cardinals for 1 year. You had the Colts for 1 year. It didn't really work as much as people thought with one team. This year, what they're doing for the in-season one later in the year, the thing they're doing later in the year is they're doing a whole division now. They're not just doing one team for the in-season. They're doing a whole division. I think it's the NFC North. But
that's so lit.
The reason I think this is so good is because the reason they did it, take away the Giants for a second, because yes, the Giants make it what it is, but they needed something new and to get people's eyes back on Hard Knocks, back on, like you said, Robbie, the whole thing was QB, the whole thing with WR, the wide receiver show. And it's not even just football shows.
Well, Omaha Productions, that production team is fucking insane.
I get what you're saying, but I'm not even just talking football shows. On Netflix, you got Drive to Survive for F1 that hit it huge and put F1
Sprinter
back on the map. You got Sprinter that I loved. I dove into Sprinter like head and heels. They even have a NASCAR one. Amazon even had a couple seasons of All In where they traveled with the team too. They did that with Arizona one, or was it Arizona for a whole year? That was a couple, ago. I just think they needed something new, and it just happened that this staff, meaning Taco's team, gave them what they needed. If it could have been a different team, it might not be as exciting.
No,
so it just happened. I think they hit the jackpot on they hit the jackpot on walking into a casino and putting $5 in a machine and hitting the mini and putting a penny slot.
I don't
on your second roll.
I don't think that, and I hate saying this as a business mind. I don't think that Hard Knocks gets these types of views organically ever again. I don't think that you like, because
in what way?
You need it, the personality. You need personalities to clash. You need.
Oh wait,
there's so much that you need to make a good TV drama.
You mean like how the Lions Lions episode. The Lions
part of it
worked for that reason.
Part of it was that you had the Barkley negotiation that you knew was going to take place. So all you need is the next big Dak and the Cowboys. Follow that negotiation. You know what I mean?
I know. Would be the way you go. But Taco, the problem is that NFL Films, who runs Hard Knocks, they don't get to pick the teams.
Yep.
So it's kind of,
I think it was just
as a producer, it's now work with this. And it's like, well, fuck. Like, like this isn't as entertaining, or this may suck. You know what I mean? Like,
it'd just be like having if they did the in-season one, like the in-season, not the training camp one, right? But the actual in-season one, it would have been a lot different if going into the season, you thought you were doing it on the Jets last year, and then Aaron Rodgers gets hurt week 1, and then your episode for 8 weeks of the season is screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you're done. Yeah. We're gonna get into halftime here. Daniel Jones is like Brandon Stark. He's not the king anyone wanted, and he didn't want it either. But someone else was like, "Sucks to be you, bro." Joe Show and Son would be a better GM. In-season Hard Knocks should be bottom 5 teams, and watch how they hit scouting process to see they actually want to finish the season. See who wants a hot seat on the inside. That's all. You
can't, because you have to announce it early.
Exactly. And then you're only targeting one demographic, which is kind of us. Like,
the casuals aren't going to dig that.
I have already on my own been watching Hard Knocks, just chilling. I'm eating a Jersey Mike sub and shit. Shorty come over, and she's like, "Yo, I want to come over." All right, cool. Come on over. Walk in. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching Hard Knocks." And then now she's watching this shit like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like, you got to be able to get that fan base too that don't know shit about shit that's happening. If you just focus on the shit that everyone knows, then it's kind of hard to make a show that appeals to new fans. Like, you got to try and be able to get new fans. So yeah, this level of intrigue is only drawn because of otherworldly ineptitude this team consistently portrays. To match this, you need a similar level of mediocrity, which, as we know, isn't something teams want.
So we should follow this up with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Halftime.
Yes,
I don't have enough. Hey, Taco, I don't have enough time tonight because I'm doing something after the show that you want to do. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into halftime. Let's go ahead. Let's get into Plot by the homie Radio Ray.
Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. They stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. See, it's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like corruption, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even when tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home. I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas. At night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan. I stay on my mission. And stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go into shit. Just stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do into shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change direction. Just like that, we live for the lesson. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, know that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the number one mission in hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the stick to the block. Stick to the block. Stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do what you shit. Just stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do what you shit. Just stick to the
Hop out in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me up, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shots to your D for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no one zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
You don't have to worry, it's my time right now, cause the boy about to blow up. They gon' pay me before I show up. Why you hating? You don't know what? Never make it what they told us. But we don't listen to haters. We just keep.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do, dilly dilly. That last song, Sugar Mom, by my homie Shaman Noel, performing at the SMS Festival tonight down in Denver. Make sure you guys check them out. Let's get it, y'all. Oof. Eee.
Hold on.
Let's get it.
Where is it at? There it is.
All righty. Get the show sheet back up. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I hope that you guys have been enjoying the show. Make sure you guys share the content. We greatly, greatly appreciate that. Y'all are amazing. Run up that like button. Keep commenting. Show us all the love. Yo, I feel like Goku right now. Second half of the show, right? Pirates, YouTube viewers, I need your energy. That's exactly how I'm feeling right about now. Mike, you are going to start off this second half of the show. They talking shit, Mike.
I know you pissed me off when I got in the car this morning.
Mike. They outside, Mike. They said, knock, knock, open up the door, Mike.
Talk your shit and bring me the mic.
Spit your game, talk your shit. The Las Vegas Raiders just had to poke the bear. Yesterday at training camp, the Raiders were trolling as they seemingly pulled out a Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, Kermit the Frog.
It wasn't seemingly, they fucking did it.
It was a puppet. I get from what I know, from what I heard, it was not a player that brought the puppet. A fan brought the puppet, and a player engaged with the puppet. A player, I'm gonna be honest.
Camera.
A player fucking on camera shoved his hand in the puppet's ass very, very viciously and made that motherfucker talk. Mahomes and they dissed the hell out your quarterback, but hang on. Mahomes and head coach Andy Reid responded today stating, "It'll get handled when it gets handled." Andy Reid stating, "We don't spend a lot of time here with puppets. They face off week 8. Was this a solid troll job by the new attitude Raiders? Or should they have just kept their mouth shut?" 2024 has been the year of disses. Like, this gives me Kendrick Lamar Drake vibes, NFL version. Mike, your take on the NFL diss from the Raiders.
I'm not as upset about it as you think I am.
They dissed y'all.
Hold on, hear me out. Will you shut up at first? Okay. So, one, honestly, it doesn't piss me off as much. I do like what Andy said, how it's going to be figured out, whatever. Taco, I got a question for you about this.
You went to Taco.
Yeah, well, no. I had to go to Taco.
Go ahead.
Do you know what team Trey Taylor plays on?
Trey Taylor, off the top of my head, no.
You know why you don't know? Because he doesn't matter, and he's the fucking idiot that put the freaking puppet on. It don't matter. You ain't Devontae Adams. You're not Zamir White. You're not Max Crosby. I don't give an ass.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
You are a number 37 safety that I've never freaking heard of, and I'm a degenerate who plays IDP. Okay? Take your puppet and shove it. Okay? Because now...
He shoved it. He shoved
it. But guess what? That hand's going to be so freaking greasy now that he's not going to be able to get the ball. When he's going to be in defend... They're going to put freaking Hollywood Brown or freaking Xavier Worthy right up the middle on a 9 route and blow by this guy. And because of that freaking, it's going to be one of those games that it's going to be Watch, Robbie. It's going to be one of those stat lines for freaking Kelsey. 6 catches, 122, and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be that not high. He's going to go out. He's going to be. I mean, you saw what freaking Kelsey did when freaking George Karlaftis goes and knocks the worst wide receiver on our team over. What's he going to do for his quarterback? If he's doing that for the worst player on the offense, what's he going to do for this quarterback? And yes, I'm talking about Kadarius Toney. Freaking
Toney. Karlaftis was like, "That's what you get for lining up off the sides."
Oh, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with him, but yeah.
Training camp is so funny, bro, because, like, all right.
We take the smallest shit because we don't have anything. Just like, okay, I understand what you were doing, and I thought it was funny, but just like the Daniel Jones video, it's like, it's freaking training camp. We don't, and then there was a video I saw, not to go too deep into another subject, but I saw a video earlier yesterday, and it was like, look at this dime from Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Shell coverage, no defender even on. It was literally the safety stopped and Wilson kept going.
Really quick, what I want to remind people of about training camp overreactions and underreactions.
Yeah.
A lot of these plays are rehearsed. Okay. Please do not get concerned if you see like a interception or whatever. Defense needs to fucking practice too. And one thing that I do just want to highlight with my colleagues, I know that fantasy football is a big money getter for us. But guys, can we, like Mike said, he plays IDP. Can we please get some defensive plays out here out of training camp?
Yeah.
Like, please. All week on Twitter, all I've seen is offense. Somebody hit someone.
Well, Karlaftis did.
Yeah, Karlaftis did. That shit was funny. That shit was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious. And then he gets up. I thought it was funny before I saw the throw.
But as soon as I realized, so I didn't see the caption.
Yeah.
I saw it on a Kansas City Chiefs live feed, right? So when I realized during the live feed who the fuck he lit up, because the comments on Instagram started going, yeah. The comments on Instagram literally go, the first comment, the first person that caught it, I wasn't the first person that caught it when I was watching live. The first person goes, Tony, in all caps, bro. And I was like, no way. And so I rebounded a little. I was like, oh shit. And then I saw the fight happen.
Okay,
bro,
I have one thing to say before I throw it to Taco. One quick
Daniel,
thing.
happy Friday, dog. Happy Friday. Yo, cheers to Daniel.
Taco, you can go right after this. I have one thing. Hey, Robbie. At least that guy who put up that that he got blown up. At least he made sure what wide receiver it was before he reported it.
Oh shit! Oh gosh.
Taco, your turn.
I mean, I think everything that about this, that needs to be said has been said, other than the fact of, in the words of one of the all-time greatest football players, Bobby Boucher, that's just tackling fool, baby. Tackling fuel, baby. Tackling fool, baby. Like, he's just going to go out there and murder these people. He's like Kermit the Frog. Like, this is going to be some Michael Jordan shit. Like, and I took that personally. Like Mike said, the 30th safety on the team, the guy who won't make it at a training camp, gave Patrick Mahomes all the shit he needs to win his 3rd title. He's going to look at every team and see that Kermit the Frog. When he plays Joe Burrow, he's going to be like, oh, you think I'm Kermit the Frog too, don't you, motherfucker? And just ball out. Hey, I don't see how he's going to
be like, hey, Eminem.
Yo, week 8, Mahomes is literally going to be back there directly under center. At first he's gonna be lined up in the gun, and he's gonna be like, ready, set, Kermit, third string, milk check.
It's gonna be every character.
Some poor little white DB that barely made the team.
Every character of the Muppets is gonna be an audible.
Oh. Miss Piggy, Miss Piggy.
Fonzo.
Gonzo.
I just don't get how, like, you could think that's a good idea as a player that far down the depth chart to interact with them. As funny as you think it is, my man, know your role.
If you are in swimming, you do not tempt Michael Phelps.
Can I tell you?
Basketball, you do not tempt the likes of MJ, Kobe, LeBron.
The cameras were waiting for that.
If you are in boxing, do not talk to Canelo, Floyd, Tyson. If you are in UFC, leave Alex Pereira alone. All right? Like, there are just certain people. NFL, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, motherfucking Patrick Mahomes. Certain people leave these motherfuckers alone. Do you not, as a competitor, do you know who the fuck you're dealing with when you're dealing with someone that is a legitimate competitive psychopath? Not like, if you think Raiders fans out there that may be viewing, Leafs, I love you. Raiders Nation, to the black hole, you fucked up. You let a third stringer possibly fuck up 2 whole games for you. 2 games is a lot in the NFL. I don't care if we even go to an 18-week schedule. Raiders Nation, you woke into sleeping giant like a dungeon dragon. Back the fuck up before you get clapped up. You'll handle the Chargers week 1. Gator J was on the show and we broke that down a couple of weeks ago and we talked about that. I do think that you're going to be a better team. I think that you need to cool it and you need to. That dude's not making the team for fucking sure now. And even if he doesn't make the roster, Mahomes still has that stored in his memory bank. Xavier Worthy's a speed demon. You still have Rashee Rice, who, no pun intended, is a speed demon as well. Travis Kelce is still the greatest tight end in the league. And you don't know who the fuck is going to pop out and show out that backfield. Obviously, Pacheco's a lead back. But you act like that they don't have depth and they can't make anything happen with anyone.
Generic Prince is running the twos right now. That's all I have to say. That's what I'm saying. He could show up out of nowhere.
Like, what are you doing? The defense is still willing to clap cheeks. It's straight yammers over there.
They're willing to blow up their own players.
You're gonna be. You want your cornbread? Somebody get the "you want your cornbread" meme ready for week 8. Because that's going to be Patrick Mahomes standing over the fucking Raiders defense. Like, what's bracking, son? That's all I got to say. Don't. Hey, that guy Trey Taylor played at Air Force. I know. Right down the street, 15 minutes down the road, baby. Let's see here. I want to get at one of our colleagues because here, when I talk about what I'm about to talk about, still keeping it on the Raiders kind of in a way, but this segueing across to the East Coast simultaneously.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love the enthusiasm. I love the exuberance. When I heard and I saw this take, I want to preference this that there is no validity behind this other than the homie that said this. He ain't like the homie, but like, you know, homie in the essence of like what we all do as a profession. Like when the homie said this, I was like, yo, I got to talk about this on the show. And like, I got to bring it up. Like I ignored it when it first got brought up. But like when the homie said it,
Oh, it's the second time. It's the second time I know he said it.
I was like, hold on now. We might be on to something. So take this with a grain of salt because Doug is a diehard New York Jets fan. But ESPN personality, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Greenberg, Greeny, we love you. We love you. I promise this segment is not for like comedic presence or anything. We love you, dog. Greeny was recently on record saying he's guaranteeing that Davante Adams will be traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to the New York Jets no later than Halloween. Boys, it's still only July, technically speaking. But honestly, oh fucking well, right? Let's go ahead. Let's fast forward to Rumtober, the greatest month of all sports. Let's get into Rumtober. You buying this Adams to the Jets talk? Yay or nay? And if we are going to fast forward to Rumtober, what is the Jets record looking like that makes it to where this move comes into fruition? Like, I mean, that has to be taken into account. Taco.
Well, I have been on the record about this because I believe we talked about Davante Adams a couple of weeks ago, and I was mentioning these rumors, and they had been brought up, and this was something that they were saying, like his dead cap money changes at the end of August. So they say that, and it's been Carton and a bunch of other people in this local market have been hammering the drum home that they're expecting this trade to happen probably closer to September, end of August. And much like you said, it could happen in October. I think it makes a lot of sense when you think of the fact the Raiders have nothing to play for. You get the money off the books, you get a couple of extra picks. The Jets know that you have a small window with Rodgers, so you have to win. There's no questions about it. You got 1-2 years, maybe 3 max. So you need to maximize in that window. So if it means, you have to give up a second, third, even a first, I think you really have to consider making that move. We've talked about the Jets before, and again, I'm not a Jets fan, but you can't deny the fact they have a really solid defense. You can't deny the fact that they have a top flight running back. You can't deny the fact that if they have Davante Adams on that, in that wide receiver room to add to Wilson, to add to the rookie, to add to Williams, this is one of the most dynamic wide receiver rooms. You cannot deny the fact that Aaron Rodgers is a former MVP, and if he's looking right, which is probably what will be the only way that you make a trade for Davante Adams, you're getting an MVP caliber player who's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove it. I believe that this team wins the AFC East. I believe that the Bills don't have the offensive firepower, and I believe that the Dolphins just aren't that good. I believe when you're paying Tua that much money, you can't afford to get all the holes that they need in order to beat a team like the Jets. Now they're going to have Rodgers at a much lower number where they can spend that money on other pieces and let that veteran quarterback tear that kid apart, because he is going to tear the Dolphins apart. He is going to destroy the Dolphins, and it's going to be one of those situations where you're sitting back and looking at a kid that's making $53 million, and you're wondering why he can't get you any wins in the playoffs.
I don't think this contract starts this year.
Hold on. I could see a 1-1 split between the Jets and Miami.
If you got Davante,
purely just because.
If you got Wilson and Davante,
I fucking talk. I ain't even. You know, Taco. You finish my sentence for me. Finish my sentence for me, Taco.
All I said is if you got Davante and Wilson, that's it. That's all I said.
Anyways, like I was trying to fucking say. All right, since I was so rudely interrupted, chat. Do you see how my coworkers treat me?
Don't use that plural. Do not use that plural. Do not use that plural.
Oh my.
God damn!
You're not innocent.
Real quick, Mike was like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, bitch, I ain't involved in this." He's like, You're like,
I treat you like that, Taco, not him.
Hey, I'm the right one here.
No, anyways, like I was trying to state, like you really did make me lose my train of thought there for a second there, Taco, but it's okay. We're gonna get it back. I do see a 1-1 split between Miami and the Jets. Realistically, Halloween. Okay, so they'll get the
Dolphins till late.
Yeah, they won't get the Dolphins till late, and even still, even with them playing the Dolphins post Halloween, I still see that being a 1-1 split.
Yeah,
just due to the fact that the Jets are going to have to worry about not just one receiver, you're worrying about two receivers. Rodgers, even with the acquisition of Devontae Adams, you still got to account for getting that timing, that rhythm down, which, I mean, they definitely have it down, but I mean, it's probably take like 2 weeks at best. At best, I wouldn't be shocked if they got it after one game. But 2 weeks at best for them to get that back down pat. The Dolphins missing Christian Wilkins, that does hurt that defense, but I mean, we haven't seen that defense with this version of them step on the field yet, so I think we need to hold off there. They'll have pieces back healthy by that time that they have to worry about the Jets anyways. Divisional games are always tough, typically, in my experience, and this is really just a betting take. It's awesome if you win a 2-zip out, if you know, on a division, but your best bet is to probably just take the 1-1 split. Also, with the Jets having a fucking international game in August, it's going to take the win out of themselves heading into the 14th or in October. I mean, it's going to take the win out of themselves heading into October 14th for Monday Night Football. It's going to be difficult. You're talking about the Jets having to be below 500 to even make the push for Devontae. I don't think the Jets make the push for Devontae if they're above 500. That's where the argument really begins. Right now, it's cool for us to speculate. I think when we start talking about, is this team above or below 500, makes a break whether or not they make a move at the trade deadline. Mike.
So I think they're going to be 4-2 by the October. I think after the October 14th, I think they could be 4-2. I do think they're going to lose their first game of the season.
Yeah, I think they'll lose their first game. I'm with you.
I think they could lose another one in between there. You never know what happens. What, first game?
Yeah.
On the road against the Niners on Monday night. So do I think they're going to? No, I do not think this is going to happen. Is it possible that it happens? Absolutely. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't see.
That's a dangerous streak for the Dolphins because you get adjusted to that really quick. I like what Jeff just brought up. You can get adjusted to that on the road real quick.
But I do agree with you. I disagree with you, Robbie, in the sense of it's going to take them being under 500 to try to trade for Adams. I don't think that's going to be the case. But if they're 6-0 on October 14th, I don't think that. But Taco, I go the other way though. If they're 6-0 on October 14th, I don't think they make the trade either. I think they need to be there, but not over the hump, like way over. If they're 6-0 and like or 8-0 and the 8 or 9-0, whenever the trade deadline is, I can't remember what.
I think it also comes down to how your wins come out.
How many of those are dome games? I want to know how many of those are dome.
Or how many of them is your offense like is your defense carrying you in these games? You know what I mean? Like, because if the offense is struggling, but I'm 6-0 and we're kind of moving, but there's another level.
There's so many unique aspects that when you talk about when you just look at that specifically.
Only one of their games before week 9 is a dome.
None. Okay, yeah.
One.
All right, one. Okay.
They play
And
at
what was the-
Minnesota, and that's it.
Yeah,
What do
Minnesota.
you think the Raiders would want for Devontae Adams?
It depends where
Well, the
that
Jets
depends where
have
the Raiders are.
an
too.
international game. The Jets have international against Minnesota.
Oh, so then that's not then it's not an indoor game.
Yeah, I'm talking about for Miami. How many does
For
Miami have?
Miami.
Bills, Packers, Jets, Browns.
Oof, that is tough for
Cross-reference
Miami.
Here's the thing: if Miami's playing in domes
None
around
of those
that
are.
time, yeah, Bills not a dome, Packers not a dome, Jets not a dome,
Not a
Browns
dome, and
not a
Browns
dome.
not a dome.
But okay, so yeah, when it comes to his comment earlier, 4 of the Dolphins' last 8 games are played. Oh fuck. So the Dolphins down that stretch, that's when it gets cold. We know that this is a team that, historically speaking, is affected by weather. So okay, that does give credence actually to Taco predicting a 2-zip sweep. I'm still going to go with my 1-1 take. I'm still going to go with my 1-1 take.
But the whole point that I say that, to me, I get what you guys are saying, but my whole point with your 2 takes about the Dolphins and the split, it doesn't effing matter because the trade deadline is before that.
Yeah,
I think it happens before the season starts. Even
no,
there's rumors that by the beginning
there was
I
a
don't
rumor,
know.
but Devontae. The thing is with that is that the way in the fashion in which Devontae shut that down, he shut that down in a manner of which, like, he's like,
Mikal Bridges did the same thing and he got traded to the Knicks the next day.
No,
Mikal Bridges did that during the offseason. It's not the offseason.
It's not.
It is the offseason for the
one.
football.
It's not the offseason. One, it's not the offseason. 2, Mikal Bridges doesn't have everyone in the locker room looking at him for the answers. Devontae Adams is in a very different situation. Devontae Adams is in a very different situation and is a very different. The way he handles his business is in a very straight up manner. It's in one of those, if you don't hear it from me, please shut the fuck up type of deals. If Devontae is not hinting at it, Devontae's also very like that too, where he's gonna, if that's what he wants, he's gonna make it very well known, and you'll know. Like, we knew when he wanted to leave the Raiders, we knew when he was like, no, I'm actually here to stay, and like, we're good. It's because of how Devontae handles his business, and then also how Aaron handles his business. I think that it's more far-fetched than not. Don't get me wrong, it would make great chaos. I would love to track this story as we get closer to middle of the season, end of the season. I just feel like right now, that's just greeny.
It's being greeny.
Being greeny, exactly. That's just a Jets fan being a Jets fan.
And if he does get traded, he's going to wear number 15, which is his college number.
College, yeah. Which would be so weird because you should have just did that with Carr and maybe you would have had better luck. Superstition ain't the way. Shout out Stevie Wonder. So yeah, that's pretty much like as much as I wanted to kind of like indulge and entertain that. Just like when I saw and like I was like, whoa, Greeny at times can say some wild, outlandish shit, but all of us can at any given time. Let's see here. Just give me one moment.
Indeed.
I just gotta look at a couple of things. So we have begun releasing daily episodes of Fantasy Football Friendly on YouTube, and a snippet dropped recently. Shouts to Leafs, shouts to Homie Treat, for everything that you do on all of our reels, all of our TikToks, all the editing. Super amazing. We greatly appreciate it. A snippet release of episode 3 about the Indianapolis Colts on TikTok, and some people in the comment section felt it was a bit harsh. whenever I decided to temper expectations in regards to Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr. What's your thoughts on Richardson returning and Michael Pittman as a fantasy football asset? If we want, we can entertain the Jonathan Taylor talk here as well, but let's face it, not really a point of wasting our breath because we know that Jonathan Taylor is worthy in fantasy football. There's no debate there. That'd be stupid as fuck. Don't bring up Jonathan Taylor in your tape, please. Don't waste the time. Let's focus on the important things.
Taco.
Yeah. No, it'd be you actually, because Taco started the Jets one.
He did do that. That's
he
right.
Did do that. He did.
All right, so I apologize because I'm going to go against the rules in a minute, but I don't care.
The rules say take a shot right now.
Huh?
The rules say take a shot right now.
Not yet. I do think you're being harsh. I think you're being an ass. But
Tell
you
Michael
are.
Pittman,
But you hold your horses, asshole. Okay, you can say what you want to say about Michael Pittman because guess what? I do agree with you that he is not a number. I've seen people put him, and I'm not talking just dynasty. I'm talking both. I've seen people put him as a top 10 receiver right on the fringe of 9 through 12, 9, 11.
Eat my ass.
He's not a 9 through 11. Okay. You don't need to say that. Pause. He's not a 9 through 11, he's not a top 12 guy. Am I willing to take him as my number? Am I willing to take him as my WR2 and be confident about it in fantasy? Absolutely.
Yeah, as a 2.
No, that's what I said, as a 2. Part of the problem with him isn't necessarily him. You know who I don't trust. I still don't know if I trust Shane Steichen to get a number with the way they're running the offense. I don't trust Steichen to get a guy into the top 10 wide receiver. It's not going to happen the way they're playing the game. And why I said that I'm going to break the rules, so I'll take a shot because I'm about to break the rules on purpose here.
Isn't it?
Jonathan Taylor has to be brought up.
No, I thought it's Jim Bob. Isn't it Jim Bob?
But Shane Steichen's the head coach.
Okay. But it's Jim Bob that's in charge of the offense, though.
I don't fully believe that. That's where I'm going.
So
hold on.
Well, here's where Robbie's bias. Okay,
but this is why
I went to a Jim Bob Cooter football camp.
This is why I'm telling you I'm breaking the rules. You have to bring up Jonathan Taylor for this freaking offense. You can't bring up the Colts and talk about the success of the Colts without bringing Jonathan Taylor. Robbie, who made the graphic for that team? Say it.
You're the executive producer of the fucking show, so fuck you.
Okay, Jonathan Taylor is on the thumbnail for a goddamn reason because he is more important to that offense than Michael Pittman. But the reason I was really excited about bringing this topic up, and when I mentioned this to you in chat, you said my brain keeps going to the real NFL, and I completely understand that. But the guy that I am adoring and I have a semi-football boner for, is Anthony freaking Richardson. If it wasn't...
Bruh played 4 games in the QB 40. His backup, Joe Flacco, played 4 games in the QB 32 and was on a worse offense.
He also averaged... those 4 games, he was averaging, he had 2 of those games. He finished as QB2 and QB4. Yes, he had a game. One of the games that he played, one of the games that he played that gets brought into the points per game and everything else, he played like 9 downs and had 2.8 points.
I did that. I brought that up in the special.
I know you did. I understand you did.
Okay, so you saw the episode, motherfucker. Why?
You also got to remember, I also wrote an article how this guy could, bold prediction, be the QB1 overall this season. I said he has the upside. If he has, I do not think he's going to be QB1.
1,000%. I mean, if you frame it like that, he 1,000% has QB1 upside.
Yeah, I don't think QB1 overall. I don't think he's going to do it, but I think he has a chance to easily be a top 5 with a QB1 upside if everything goes right.
So, okay, all right.
Just because of his play style. He shows one heavy.
You watch the episode, so then answer the question in the episode that I asked everyone to respond to in the comments, which motherfuckers could have answered the motherfucking question. All right, more of y'all need to watch Fantasy Football Friendly because it's really a good show. Like really. I'm gonna try and get on the staff to start sharing more episodes of it because it really is super informative.
I obviously watched it. I just don't know which question you're talking about.
The question that I begged was outside of their big three. Fuck the big three. It's just Big Me. Okay, outside of Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman, there's one pigskin in 60 fucking minutes. Where are the plays matriculating?
I think
Taylor can't get the ball every fucking time.
They're going to rush the ball a lot with Richardson.
Jelani Woods can't stay fucking healthy. Joshua Downs can't fucking stay on a goddamn field.
You're not bringing up AD freaking Mitchell, Robbie.
I'm about to. Adonai Mitchell had a great season at Texas. I felt that he probably you could have easily, if you were the Kansas City Chiefs, went Mitchell or Worthy, and it would have never fucking mattered either goddamn way.
I think we would have gone Mitchell if a 4-point whatever wasn't freaking ran.
Yeah, exactly. If it was, regardless of sports time, if the trade never happened. Either way.
Yeah, either way.
Mitchell, what I'll say about Mitchell and what I know about Mitchell as a player and as a person from sources that I've gathered and research that I've gathered, he gives me these Amon-Ra vibes, whereas Amon-Ra gives me Steve Smith vibes, where it's like, you're a fucking psychopath. You remember everyone that's drafted ahead of you. AD Mitchell gives me that. I need to see what's going to happen. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for me. For me, who gives these folks in the chat advice, it's not worth it for me to tell them off of 4 fucking games to go and run that gamble.
But I get that. But all I'm saying is there is the upside for success and greatness. Look what happened the second year. Like I said in my article, you have the second year of, I'm not comparing his play style to Mahomes at all, but it was Mahomes' second year with one start in week 17 in a 17-game season. At the point, he started one game. The next season, he started his second year and won the MVP. Then Lamar comes in.
Was great weeks 1 through 8.
Then Lamar comes in, his second season. Flacco started his rookie season. Then he came in. He started his second season, won the MVP. And then you have Hurts, who goes out and has a big year under who? Shane Steichen.
It's too many what ifs, and then for
isn't the NFL a game of what ifs?
Yeah, but he says he just has the
right. But for coach and personnel to come out in the media this week and state we're not going to try and hinder Anthony Richardson's abilities in any which way, that raised a little bit of caution for me because motherfucker, please slide.
I get that. I understand.
You cannot sit here and complain about Jaden Daniels coming out of college, out of LSU, the most pro-ready fucking offense and the most pro-ready quarterback out of this draft, and say that he had a sliding issue, but then still simultaneously in fantasy football be higher on Anthony Richardson, who has a fucking sliding issue.
That's fixable, though.
So you're discrediting what Steichen did? Are you discrediting what Steichen did with Hurts?
Look at how many it took Josh Allen 3 fucking seasons to fix his sliding. 3 seasons. Kyler Murray, we've been begging to fucking learn how to slide, and it hasn't happened yet.
I'm not guaranteeing that he's going to finish QB1 overall.
What Mike said is that he has the ability to finish QB1, which is completely true.
RG3 never learned how to fucking slide.
RG had the ability to be QB1.
Yes, he did.
Yes. And
That's
guess
all
what?
I'm saying.
Anthony Richardson's fantasy football value comes down to his mechanics as a player and as a quarterback. If he can find the ability to slide and not fucking think that he's Cam Newton.
Yes.
That's
the thing.
Anthony Richardson is built like Cam Newton. Cam Newton uniquely enough was able to sustain the injuries. Not everyone that's built like that can just run.
But also, let's not. It was his rookie year, his first time facing the pros. Didn't he put in weight this year in order to handle some? Like, he's now adjusting. And from the glimpses you've seen and what you project going forward, and when you look at his skill set, which is the biggest determinant, is the fact that he's a running QB in a team that's going to embrace him running, knowing that it changes the point set. It's kind of like a hack in the system. He's not going to be the best quarterback in the league, but he could be the QB1 in fantasy because of the way the scoring system breaks down and the way they're going to use him. He's going to get the rushing touchdowns. He's going to get these rushing yards. Plus, if he's able to throw efficiently downfield, he's going to be a very dynamic player in fantasy football. I personally
feel that there are other quarterbacks around that same range.
That's a different game.
I love what Dan Orlovsky brought up recently. When he talked about us as an industry expand. I think I brought this up last week too.
Yeah.
About expanding the way that we rank and grade quarterbacks. We used to, and you guys remember, we used to always do like a top 10 quarterbacks. Like that used to be a thing. I don't think that you can do that now because of how much talent that there is. I think that you have to have, instead of having a top 5 debate, you need to be having a top 8 debate. I think that instead of a top 10, you need to be having a top 12 debate.
See, I look at it differently.
Because
years.
Because thank you, Taco. What I was about to say was I think that it now needs to go into a tier discussion. Okay, which shout out to the homie Adam Rank. I appreciate you for liking the recent tweet. I just saw that on X. Thank you, Adam. What Adam has been doing, and he's been doing for at least the last couple of years, more so where it was more so rankings. Now we're getting into tiers, and we're having a tier conversation. The way that we perform our job is greatly different. I'm not saying that rankings don't matter. I'm not saying that ADP doesn't matter. But also, guys, guess what? For those of you, especially at home, those things matter to us because that's our job. That's how we make a name for ourselves. That's how we get paid, whether it's through exposure, whether it's through monetary value, et cetera, et cetera.
Can I ask you a question?
1 second. For you guys at home, rankings and ADP, we make those things. You guys help make those things at home when you guys participate in mocks and drafts and so on and so forth. All those things get taken into account and they get put into data, they get collected, and they get utilized for data. I say all this to say maybe this season when you're heading in, look more so into a tier and look for options to where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Amon over Chase. I've been seeing that argument starting to pop up a lot lately. Like,
I would do
start looking at tiers.
Yeah.
Mike, what were you going to ask?
Speaking of rankings and tiers, redraft. I know we're getting into redraft season, so I'll bring up redraft. Where do you have Richardson in QBs?
Hold on, I need to pull up a list.
Well, no, I have Fantasy Pros ECR up.
I'm trying to think of what I had, what I said the other day on the show. I believe I have him more so kind of like along the lines of like QB8.
Okay, so their rankings go Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar, then Richardson, Stroud, Burrow, Dak.
Yeah, I have Stroud and Burrow ahead.
So Yahoo has
ahead of Richardson. So yeah, I have him like 9.
Yahoo has
Well,
Josh
I
Allen,
have
Hurts, Mahomes, Jackson, Richardson at 5.
That's the same thing. It's just different
Yeah.
top, but they have
Yeah.
Richardson at 5 on ECR.
Fantasy Pros takes all the data from everywhere and then it puts it into
So to be honest, I think that probably is a good spot for him from the perspective of you're talking about the 4 elite guys that we know
That's
that can
what
be
I'm saying.
QB1 any year. And then the next best guy, like as great as CJ Stroud's year was, he has to maximize his stuff in order to get that high again. He doesn't run enough.
There's even later QBs that I'd be willing to take. Like,
But see, now you're talking a different game. You're talking about value at the position, like where you'll get like a QB4 who you draft like a QB like or so late in the draft.
For me,
like a guy like Jaden Daniels will not
it
fit
all boils
in
down to the same thing. So I'm trying to. I might even start pumping out like 2 episodes a day of Fantasy Friendly. We'll see how it works out because I want to get into like dropping my rankings and stuff. I still have to get my fucking schedule for in season because we got to make that fucking graphic. But yeah, we'll talk about all that later. I do want to get into the final topic here of the night. We don't talk about it a whole lot, but I feel like lately a lot of the work that we've been doing here is significantly more influenced by what happens. It's always been influenced by what happens in college football, but we never put a focus on it. This year, we're changing that, all right? The 12-team college football playoff was announced earlier this week. I know I'm electrified about this new playoff format, but I know some traditionalists, are a little worried about this change. Let me get you guys' thoughts. Are you buying or selling the new college football format? And by the way, can we just shout out? Let's clap it up. Herb Street. The way that you killed that suit, your Taylor brother, killed that suit on that video. Taco.
I think it's super fucking cool. I was watching that and I'm like, I am interested in a little college football for once. I love that you have the divisional tournaments now. Like
do you know where Carson Beck goes to school?
Don't ask me trivial questions like that. That's not on the show sheet.
Georgia.
But I will say, I love how it's like, so now you have the conference like championships meaning something significant. So a hot team comes in and they win, and then bam, next thing you know, you go to the playoffs. And now you're gonna see something like, can you keep it going? Is it a one and done? So it's like kind of like, in my opinion, I think it brings a lot of intrigue. It gives me kind of a little bit more reason to tune in to the conference and those division championships, because it's going to be hard, especially because I'm a basketball junkie, to focus on college football. But I love what they're doing here. It's bringing me in as more of a casual to want to watch that whole tournament and peek in during their other tournaments, which I know is going to be good for their ratings, which at the end of the day is what they want. And I think they did a great job. It's actually really cool how they're setting this up. And I'm super excited, to be honest.
I love that we got that perspective, to be honest. I mean, normally I would shit on you for being such a casual. But I actually love that for the viewer perspective. Mike.
You already know where I'm going. I hate it, but I'm starting off by saying I'm not a big fan of it. I am a traditional. I like where the bowl. I liked watching the Rose Bowl when it was Big Ten versus Pac-12. I remember when it was Pac-10. It was Big Ten, Pac-10. That's when you saw, Washington against Michigan. That's when you saw USC versus whoever at the time, UCLA versus Michigan State or it was UCLA and Iowa, and Wisconsin, UCLA, Iowa, USC one year. But you had the bowl games, and then when they did it where you had the semifinals, wrapped around that 1 year out. Like my buddy was at the game where Oregon played Florida State, and it was Mariota versus Jameis that year. But when you rotate them, I get it. But here's the thing. I do not like it. It was inevitable, and it's better for the game of what we need now. So I'm okay with it in that sense. Where, yes, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't want it to go bigger than 16. If it goes to 16, I get it. I don't want it to go bigger than 16.
16, yeah, I don't want it to go bigger than 16. I do agree with that.
I will. That's when you'll hear me say I don't like it and stay on it.
From 16 go 32, and next thing you know, you're the mini NCAAs.
No, they talked about going to 24 and having buys like they do now.
Okay.
16, you wouldn't need buys.
24, I could do it. 24, I could do it. 24, I could do it.
That could be cool.
Really
Especially
quick, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. We're at 11. I want to get to more than 11 likes. Let's keep getting there. Let's keep pushing the content. Share it everywhere that you possibly can. I love and I appreciate all of y'all. And we're number one on the X charts right now, according to my X live, but I look at X. So let's keep pushing those numbers. Let's keep showing the people what we can do over here. We're having fun. We're talking football. You know what it is. It's the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Look, for me, I feel like this is the way that it probably should have been. I was always, when it comes to college football, I was always more of the progressive mindset of having a playoff, of having the opportunity, kind of how the NCAA men's and women's college basketball tournament is, where it's like one and done. I want to see the upsets. I want to see the parity. I want the team that we didn't. I want an opportunity at the very fucking least.
Do you like the fact that the first round is now going to be on campus?
I want to see how I feel about that. I don't think that I've fully developed feelings.
Because the reason I agree with you, but the reason the concern I have is it's only the first round that's going to be on campus, right? Which means the top 4 teams that have a bye will never get to use that home field advantage.
Home field advantage. And that's, I want to try and look at it from the lens of how Taco's looking at it. You know? Because I know that if I have already gone too far down the rabbit hole.
No, all right, we have not gone down too far.
And the consensus that I've brought myself to is underneath this format is to let what happens, because this is as close to what I've been wanting it to be. So for me, it's kind of one of those things where I'm not going to complain even furthermore. I'm just going to shut the fuck up and color for right now.
But you see my point, yeah.
No, it is a valid point. I do wish that home field advantage could be utilized, but I also have no problems with neutral sites as well.
I mean, let's be real here. My football team in college will never be in the top 4 and ever have that ability. So
Virginia Tech gets a chance now. I mean, in all honesty,
UCLA is not going to do that in the Big Ten. So
no, I mean, the way that the landscape is changing around the Power 5 conferences, it's a very unique time in college football. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot to follow, and I will even admit that as a big brain football guy. But with that being said, with that being stated, I'm all in. I'm interested. I'm ready for this college football playoff. I'm excited. I want to see upsets. I don't think that we're going to get that this first go around. Maybe we get 1 or 2. But I want this to have the prestige of what March Madness has.
Yeah, 25%. I think, like in the first round, if you get 2, that's 25%. I think that's doable.
Football's a unique sport in that if you guys haven't seen the movie Any Given Sunday, check it out. But the saying is true, and there's a reason why they made the movie. It's any given Sunday. In this case, it's going to be any given Saturday.
we're gonna get to fill out brackets for football. Like, how fucking cool is that?
Yeah, that's to me. That's gonna be the coolest. Shit. That's gonna be the coolest shit ever. Like,
yeah, put your bracket in and see how efficient you are because it's one and done all the way out. You know what I mean? Like that shit is fire.
And honestly, I mean, there are some smaller schools that if you give them a fucking shot to come out swinging, yeah, they might beat some top schools on. I mean, I want to see this happen. I want to see this happen. You know, is it gonna suck if some small school fucking makes it all the way and then they falter to like an Alabama or a Georgia at the end or a Michigan at the end? Yeah, I mean, but you know what? Fucking fight. You know what? We want Cinderella stories. Damn it! Aren't you tired of your sports being boring?
I mean, doesn't this make you think of the Boise State teams?
That were like, I was going to bring up them, or I was going to bring.
Yeah, because even I know about them, and I don't watch college. That's like when you have those teams.
Well, even Robbie, what was it, 3 years ago? There was the team with Jerome Ford and Desmond Ritter on Cincinnati. They made it to the top 10. They got left out of the, what do you call it? They went and played Georgia, a team from the SEC that lost in the championship game and held their own. UCF did it 1 year and freaking won. And that's what got Scott Frost his job back in Nebraska, his alma mater, before he sucked there. And then now you got Matt Rule. But you're right, Taco. That's,
hey,
and
Matt
Taco.
Hey, if y'all haven't, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but if y'all haven't checked out Matt Rule's most recent fucking interview, great guy.
But the last thing I want to bring up, and I'm going to give Taco brought it up, but I'm just going to reiterate it. One of the biggest things, just like we were talking about, there's certain things in the NFL that they're looking for. They go do stuff. They do stuff to cater. They cater stuff in what do you call it, to the casuals. This getting the broader is going to bring in the casuals like Taco and even casuals that aren't into football in general because it's going to be an event. It's going to be a spectacle. Now the national championship and the semifinals are even going to be more.
And it's easier to follow because I'm coming in and I got 16 teams and not all these schools across, especially in New York. I don't have a school that I like. It's not like when you grow up watching a school like it's your team. I don't have a school that I grew up watching in football.
Rutgers.
They have Rutgers. They got Syracuse.
Jersey, bro. We had
Rutgers.
Hey,
they got
your football team plays in New Jersey, so I don't want to hear it.
No.
Yeah,
Syracuse football team be getting some gas. Syracuse football team they be doing their
Hofstra's in New York.
Yeah, well, they don't have football no more.
They did. Look who they brought in.
One of the guys that was on the football team was the guy.
Let's just see. CFB25 brought back video games. Yes, it did. Shout out to the homie Groovy on TikTok. Yo, his TikToks are so fucking funny. NYU needs a team. NYU does need a team, but they're too prestigious. They're too fucking uppity, bro.
Does Columbia still have a team?
I don't think so.
I think Fordham might have it. Syracuse is probably like our closest school because of Carmelo.
But
we do that for basketball.
Syracuse's team is nasty.
Because St. John's went to the shitter. Like, what the fuck?
But no. Point being, though, ladies and gentlemen, we're excited. We're turned up for football. Close out that college football topic. When I'm able, when I can, how I can. Whether it's us weaving in a couple of college football topics on shows or whatever. I want to bring college football content to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, damn it. I want to bring college football to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Whether it's me that's going to be bringing it to you guys or us bringing someone in to have their own college football dedicated show. We're looking. It's a thing. We want to do it, which would push us to possibly being a 7-day out of the week operation. Even if it's just like a college football pregame show where we're just going over bets and shit. There's no reason to neglect the market. There's no reason to not give you guys content on 7 days if we can. So if you're out there, if you're aspiring to be a college football creator, if you want to do a like pre-recorded betting show, that gets released on Saturday mornings. That would be posted Friday nights after this show. Let us know. You have to be serious about the opportunity. You have to be willing to do it for a full schedule. So that is going to require a commitment. But it helps get your name out there on a brand that is pretty fucking well known. People love us. People love us, even though we're raunchy, and I can be ignorant at times. But that's besides the point. It works. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. I'm gonna point to the rest of the cast members, and they can say their own names.
Drop the mic.
And that's
Go.
And we are the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to catch you guys next week. Be on the lookout for another episode of Fantasy Football Friendly. I don't know, tomorrow night. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly.